Hello, everyone. Welcome. You know what I realized? I haven't done I think a Q&A Sunday in a couple of weeks now, man. I had not noticed that I was doing that. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I definitely didn't recognize it. And so I'm back. Hopefully everybody gets this alert, but if not, I'm going to copy and paste it in the community right now. So if YouTube's algorithms don't work on their own, I'm about to do what I can to add to it. Get shareable link, community, right there, post, go. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully people will get it. What's up, tight? What's going on? Welcome. As always, we're going to wait about 3 minutes before I get started so I kind of can explain you. So I cannot kind of, but can explain to you the purpose of Q&A Sundays. And just so you guys will know, it'll last as long as the questions keep coming, right? As long as there are questions pertaining to personal finances, we'll keep going. But if there's no questions, we're going to end this in an hour. We're going to make sure we stick to, the subject at hand is regarding your personal finances, okay? Maybe you want to know how your personal finances connect with the economy. I could tell you all that. I could tell you why you're living paycheck to paycheck. I could tell you why you probably having money problems in your relationship. Why you keep fighting over money, things of that nature. Why you're at a job that you hate. Why you seem to can't get ahead, even though you keep getting raises or keep getting better jobs, you're still stuck in the same spot. What's up, retired? I promise I have the answers for all of that. Now, when I say the answers, I'm talking about the mathematical answers. All right. So you can understand. So this is what I like to start with. No, let me wait. I'm already getting into it, and I already promised I'll wait for 3 minutes. All right, looks like I got the alert, so hopefully other people got the alert. Cool. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for showing up. Appreciate you being part of the S&B family today. Appreciate that. Before I forget, there's my Cash App. And before I get again, thank you for those of you that donate to me out the blue from watching my videos that are already posted. I appreciate that. I'm humbled, sincerely. Thank you. It doesn't even matter the amount. Just thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let me introduce myself. So for those of you that do not know me, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt and financing everything that goes down in value, but can't figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck. They just can't figure out why, if they're financing phones and cars and furniture and computers and stuff like that, they just can't figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I help you get out of the debt matrix because I used to live there, right? I lived there until one day I Googled Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, take the math that you learned in grade school and apply it to your personal finances and you will win. And that's exactly what I did. Now I'm free, helping hundreds of thousands of people right now, directly and indirectly. How do I know this is my correct path? Because I'm changing people's lives, and they tell me people that I'm helping change their lives. They're telling me that I'm helping change their lives. That's how I know I'm on the correct path. All right. Now today, it's called Q&A Sundays, is to answer personal finance questions only. Anything. It doesn't matter. And everything I tell you will be will be justified with mathematics. Okay. And before we get started, so you guys can understand something, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you don't really have to answer me directly. You can answer these questions in your head. It really doesn't matter. Right. All right. And they're going to seem like odd questions, but they'll be very relevant later. All right. All right. 1 + 1 equals 2. Is my answer correct? Okay. And the answer is yes. The answer is correct. Right. Now, here's the second question. How do you feel about my answer? Knowing that my answer 1 + 1 equals 2 is right, and so 2 is the answer. How do you feel about the answer being 2? Exactly. You shouldn't feel nothing. It's just 2, right? So you answered both questions. So now, so you understand before we go forward, if my math is right in any answer I give you, if my math is right, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. Okay? So now I'm going to post this link in here. I'm going to make sure I get this started early. So just in case if people want to come up and ask me some questions on the panel, if they want to ask me questions in the comments, you can. And this is the only time you're going to get this type of advice for free. Okay. If you want a consultation, it's scrolling there at the bottom, SavingsMinusDebt.com. You can go there, schedule a consultation at your convenience. The time is open for you. Pick a time, and then we get on the phone and get started, and then we can go. You want to ask me some questions during that 45 minutes. That 45 minutes is yours to do whatever you want. Maybe you just want to ask me questions. I'll give you the answers to whatever you're asking for. Or you might want a plan from me. You might want me to create this plan, accelerate the financial freedom process, because I do have the blueprint to it. I promise you, without a doubt. And I'll give it to you, and all you got to do is follow it, and you'll be free. Okay, guaranteed. And I'll prove it to you with mathematics before you even buy it. I'll just say, hey, here's the proof. Okay. Now, again, there is the link inside the chat there. You guys can jump on there. You don't have to get on camera, or you can write your comment in the comment area. What's up, NC Biggs? What's going on? Because I'm noticing more and more people are coming into the lives, but they're sitting in the background. Now, the purpose of what I do is it's gonna change your life forever. Your whole financial life is gonna change forever. Your relationships are gonna change. Your business mind everything is gonna change. What I offer you is it's like a financial superpower. And that's not even bragging. It's not the reason why the reason why it feels like a superpower, because it's obvious. And it's so simple. It doesn't matter if I say it out loud. All you have to do is trust math, and that's it. If you want to become rich, wealthy, whatever you want to call it, those are just names. All you have to do is trust math, and that's it. Then you'll be rich. Now you're probably thinking, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. It has nothing to do with ease. It doesn't have anything to do. It's just math. It's just math. How do I know it's true? You're probably thinking, well, how do you know this? It's easy. I can tell you that too. Maybe you'll believe it, maybe you won't. There's $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. Does that sound like people who trust mathematics? There's trillions of dollars in car loan debt. That's millions of people that don't trust mathematics. They don't even trust math. Trillions of dollars in credit card debt. That's millions of people who don't trust math. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? You tired of it? I can teach you how to stop doing that. Are you tired of being fooled by all the people on YouTube promising you to become rich fast or wealthy quick. I can teach you how no longer to listen to those type of people. They make no mathematical sense. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. CENTS. Period. 1 + 1 = 2. There is no sorta, kinda, maybe this. No, it's just two. Period. This is how you'll be with your money once you understand this. It just period. You'll be able to navigate through all the fakers. Because I promise you right now, they are running rampant. You know why? Because they're all slaves. They have to keep up with the facade that they've been given, most of you slaves, like they have money and they're doing better in their relationships. That's a facade. That's a trick to keep you paying them. The majority of those people are in debt up to their freaking eyeballs, trying to keep up with the facade. You don't want to be like them. I can teach you how not to. You'll never be like them, ever. But remember this, slaves are a very important piece to the economy. Very important piece. It's very important that slaves believe the only way they can get a house is with a 30-year mortgage. Slaves must believe that it takes 30 years to pay off one house. If they didn't believe that, the housing market wouldn't exist. Why not? Because it couldn't. If slaves believed in mathematics, car dealerships wouldn't exist. Car dealerships would not exist. If slaves believed in mathematics, cell phones would probably cost $100, if not less. Yes, a brand new iPhone 12 would cost the cost it makes to actually make that phone. Are you tired of being that slave? I have the answer. I'm never wrong, ever. I'm never wrong. How many people on YouTube do you think can claim that? Everything I claim, I can back up. Everything. If you are a slave and you try to approach me, you are unarmed and you don't even know it. Slaves don't trust mathematics and they don't even know they don't trust mathematics. Is this you? If I were to ask you, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? And you said, I don't know. That tells me right away you're a slave. Only a slave doesn't know the cost of their slave papers. Only a slave does that. Because you better believe that's the price of your slave papers. Whatever your total debt is, just add it all up, student loans, mortgages, credit cards, car loans, all that stuff. That's the price of your slave papers. You want to know the easier way? Log into your Credit Karma, click on accounts, and go check out the cost of your slave papers. That's how much it costs. And if you don't even know that number, you are what's called an unconscious slave. A slave that has no idea the cost of their own slave papers, all because they don't trust mathematics. Conscious slaves are slaves that do know the price of their slave papers and they're doing whatever the fuck it takes to own them. Conscious slaves no longer care the thoughts of unconscious slaves. They don't care what you think. Doesn't matter, you're a slave. If this is you, I want you to understand something. Now, this is gonna be a hard pill to swallow for most unconscious slaves, all right? This is gonna be a hard pill to swallow. Money in any form doesn't exist for you. Nothing. Gold, silver, greenbacks, 10, 50s, 20s, hundreds. All of that is an illusion to you. And I can prove it. Now remember, everything I say, I can prove. I can prove the money in your pocket, your purse, under your bed, hidden in a bank account somewhere that you think it's hiding from somebody. The only person you're hiding it from is yourself because it doesn't even exist. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you put it. Doesn't matter whose name you put it under. It doesn't matter. The only person you're hiding it from is yourself. And remember, everything I say, I can prove. If you want to stop living like that, always nervous about where the next check is coming from, nervous about a job, paycheck to paycheck. You tired of living like that? I have the answer for you. I promise you. You're not going to find this answer nowhere else on YouTube. Nowhere. Of course, there's going to be different forms of it, okay? But not in the way I deliver it. Shout out to Donovan Wood says for the $5 super chat. He says my slave papers are 47,000. Was a hard pill to swallow. Yes, it is a hard pill to swallow. You know what you're swallowing, Donovan? What the red pill is this, so you guys can understand the real significance of the red pill. You know what you're swallowing? You're swallowing your ego, not the ego that people in the debt matrix think, oh, he's vain. He thinks he's all that. He thinks he's this and that. Look the way he looks and his body is that. No, I'm not talking about that ego. No, there's two types of ego. The ego is the one of you that you've made for yourself. That's the ego I'm talking about. That's the ego. Whoever you think you are, that you're if you're in debt, let me put it this way. If you are in debt, whoever you think you are while you're in debt, that is called ego. He is fooling you. Once you swallow ego and realize, just like Donovan here says, it's 47, that takes ego to swallow the ego, and then get on and type in with his name, not sure if that's his real name or whatever, I'm just saying, with his name and telling you how much his slave papers cost. You know why? Because he knows it's true. And most of you guys that listen to me, oh, who is he calling a slave? Hey, I ain't no slave. I'm not calling you a slave. People get angry. I'm thinking, why are you getting angry at me? I read this in the Bible. Proverbs 22:7 says this. I didn't invent. That's where I learned the word slave, in the Bible. I didn't write it. The red pill is ego. Mike says, I was getting depressed thinking you won't go live. No, I did a couple, Mike. I made a members only video today, and this is the live video right now. What's up, Walter? What's up, Lauren? I love this quote. Debt is slavery of the free. Debt is oh wow, yeah. Debt is slavery of the free. Now, if you told that to a slave, they will have no idea what that even means. Debt is slavery to the free. What do you mean? If you're free, you're not a slave. Yeah, no. That is an amazing quote. Not many will understand. What's up, Gabriel? Uh, Lauren says, is the system that predictable? It keeps people full of distractions and blind to the fact they're in debt. Yes, it is that predictable. And it's not even, this is not something fancy. I want you guys to understand something. It's not, those are just people that just don't believe it. They just don't trust mathematics. It's that simple. John Doe says, I'm tired of talking to slaves. Lately, I've been having conversations with a friend, which always results in an excuse for math. An excuse for math. Yeah. I'll say, get free. His reply, well, we all got to die, so free is pointless. See what I'm saying? That's all slave talk. That's all part of the program. You guys that have awakened and understand how money works, I want you guys to save yourself the trouble of getting frustrated as trying to save loved ones. This program is generations in the making. Most of the people that you only have a chance of deprogram, not even having that program, is your children. You have control over their financial life right now by doing the debt-free things that people with no debt do, and then they will see you. They will see how happy you are, see how you're never complaining about debt and bills and overdue dates and overdraft fees. That will be non-existent in your family. So they will grow up knowing that's how life really is. They will know nothing about being in debt and worshiping the credit gods and all this other stuff. They will know none of that. What's up, reigning woman? I'm set apart says, I'm selling my slavery mortgage 4-bedroom house in suburbia to another slave soon. Wish me luck. Congratulations. Too bad. I'm the only person in the SMD family you can even tell that to that is going to respect your decision. Too bad. This is the only way you can even word that to people that'll understand. But congratulations. What's up, Q Savage? Good afternoon. I found out my brother was getting Verizon in my name without. Oh man, he found an extra Social Security card in my. Oh my God. Now let me point something out to you because I want you guys to understand something. What he just said. Okay, so you guys can understand how deep what debt makes people do. Okay, I want you guys to understand how deep this is, how deep of a program this is. His brother, who they love each other, they're brothers. That I love him. He's about to commit fraud on his own brother for a fucking phone. A phone. About to ruin a relationship over a cell phone. Debt makes people do shit like that. That's what debt does. You know, hopefully, Q Savage, if you can go up to your brother and say, "Hey, man, you know, don't even say, hey, man, don't go into the whole argument about him stealing your Social Security number and all that stuff. You go like this, hey, man, are you willing to risk our relationship for a cell phone?" That's how you got to say it to him because I know what he's expecting you to come up to him, but you got to say that to him. You about to ruin. You tried to ruin because he actually went through with it. You almost ruined our relationship over a cell phone. Maybe that'll plant the seed in them and they like, damn. Hopefully that'll wake them up. But I want you to understand something, Q Savage. I guarantee you, if you saw your brother's personal credit report, it will show you why he tried to get a phone in your name fraudulently. And then people wonder why they hate their jobs. Only only slaves work at places they hate. Again, the red pill is your ego. You must swallow it. That's why it's so hard to swallow. If you had money in the bank, you wouldn't be working at a place you hate. What's up, underground? Someone says student loans is part of life. I disagree, and I'm paying my student loan debt. Only slaves believe student loan debt is part of life. Notice how you got to make sure, underground, you got to make sure you listen. When they say things like that, listen differently. What they believe, they just told you that they're going to be a slave until they're dead. And they accept that because that's exactly what it really means. If they believe student loans are part of life, they're saying basically, just like they're not basically for a fact, they're saying this: I'm okay with being a slave until I'm dead. So if you're a person listening to this right now and you call your student loans forever loans, you get them funny pet names and all this other stupid nonsense, what you're saying is, I accept being a slave for the rest of my life until I'm dead, and I'm okay with it. LJ, I have known this friend for over 20 years, right? 20 years. It's hard, John Doe, it's very tough to accept that fact that you're not going to be able to help people that you love and care about. It doesn't matter. Debt is the colorblind slave master. All it sees is green. It doesn't care your race, color, if you're short, fat, skinny, gay, straight, bisexual. It don't care. It don't care about any of that. None. All it sees is a human being that's green. Are you tired of living like that? You can talk to me right now. There's the link. You don't have to get on camera. You tired of living paycheck to paycheck, payday loan places, car title places? Those are all piranha for slaves. Places like that, title loan places, check cashing places. Picture those places as piranha in the water. They know you are only there coming to those places because you can't go no place else. The banks have discarded you. They're just there to pick the bones, the remaining little pieces of meat, money in your life. They're about to pick it. They're about to pick it all the way to bankruptcy. And then when you file bankruptcy, you're going to be begging to get back into the mess that put you there in the bankruptcy in the first place. And then they're going to pick you apart even more because you just come out of bankruptcy. The bank still ain't going to fuck with you. Who's going to fuck with you? Those places, and they're going to pick you apart even more. They ain't done with you. Have you noticed when you file Chapter 7, all of a sudden you start getting notices in the mail because they know you have no debt? That means your paychecks are yours. But the unfortunate part is you don't realize your paychecks are yours. So they're going to take advantage of you. I'm set apart. Says when you're debt free, you become like Django, seen in the movie. They'll see you up on that horse. They sure will. That's exactly how people look at me. They can hear it in my voice. I'm never wrong, ever. Does my voice, when you listen to my voice, do you think does it sound shaky at all? Or just, you think I'm kind of unsure of what I'm talking about? Fuck no, I'm not. I'm 100% positive and can prove it. And when you guys hear me, I always like to reiterate this. When you guys hear me use curse words, they're not used as filler words like most. You go to other channels, they just fuck this and fuck and F and this and that. They're just randomly saying it just as filler words, right? No, this, when you hear me say it, it's used to express something, to express the importance of what I'm saying. Whenever you hear me use a curse word, I want you to stop and think, it's like, damn, why is he using a curse word at this particular point in the sentence or the statement? It must be something important. It is. No, we ain't talked since 2013. Account was open. See what I'm saying? Look at that. See what I'm saying? Gone. 3 years gone, and it's his fault. He can't swallow his ego to come. He can't swallow his ego to come back and talk to his brother and say, "Hey, brother, I am sorry." That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. You know what? That was wrong of me. I love you, and I'm sorry. Some people can't do that. Let 3 years pass. Look, it's no talk since 13. Account was open in 16, and we're in 2020. 7 years gone over some stupid bullshit. Stupid. What's up, Citizen Lou? Walt, what's going on? Don't they say don't lend money to family and friends or you end up with no family and friends? That's true, but it really that rule applies to all slaves. It doesn't people like to know it's different because it's family. You are emotionally connected with that person. That's why they say that. But in reality, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be your friends. It could be your family. If they're in debt, they're slaves. And if they're asking to borrow money from you, this is how you got it. You can look at everything opposite. The very reason why they're asking to borrow money from you is because they have no money. If they had their money, if they had their own money, they wouldn't be asking you to borrow some. See what I'm saying? The very reason they're asking is because they have none. So they're telling you right there. So if you choose to give them money, give them money. Say, hey, I'm giving this to you. You don't owe me nothing. Or if you want them to stop asking you for money, you give them money and say, hey, by the way, if you take this money, you can never ask me for money again, ever. You got to record that shit too. Record yourself saying it, record yourself video you two together, giving that person that money, your family member, whoever, right? And you say, do you agree that once I give you this money, you're never going to ask me for money again? They're going to agree to it. Why? Because they want the money. So they're going to agree to it. And then you record it and you put it up and you save it because they always will come back and ask for more money. And then you press play. What's up, Q Savage? What's going on, man?
Good morning, LJ. Good morning, say your mind is that family. Happy Sunday.
Hey, thank
And
you.
um, and I wanted to explain my situation was that back in 2013, I said the last time I talked to my brother was 2013, and we had a major disagreement mainly about certain family issues. When all was said and done, he said he ain't had no brother and he ain't know me. Is that and the third? I said fine, okay. That I said, as a man, you have to live by you have to live and die by your word. So I held him up to that. I held him up to that bargain. Now the last time I seen him was at 2018, August 2018, at my cousin's wedding, and he said nothing to me. And he said nothing to me at all. Now remind you, now the other day, collections called me and said that you had an account for $336 at this address out in West Philly. I'm like, I don't live out West Philly. So I called one of my relatives and they said, well, your brother live out West Philly. That's his address. So I did two and two together. I called the credit company back. I said, when was the account open? They said 2016. I said 2016. So basically, it went to collections. He didn't pay it, and they asked me to sell the debt. I told them, I said, well, all the information that you got, I'm putting my social on credit freeze, and I'm pressing fraud charges against my brother because he said there and said, I figure like this: if you say you ain't got no brother, if you sitting there saying I ain't got this, I ain't got that, then why you using my social?
You know what? This is what I say. This is what I'm gonna say as I listen to your story. He's forcing your hand. You're gonna have to press charges because he obviously is not taking it serious because he's still doing it. He's going to force your hand to press charges. You have to do that because he's going to ruin your financial life because they're not going to release that debt unless you officially press charges. You still there?
And And it's unfortunate for the fact that this been going on for so long, over 4 years, and I'm wondering why I can't give a rising service. It's already accounted my name.
Yeah, you know what you got to do. You have to do that because he's not going to stop. You know that, right?
Now, yeah, and plus I gotta figure out if he got insurance on my name. So I got a whole lot of digging to do.
Wow, man. Oh man, that's a bad spot to be in. To your own brother. Your own brother's doing that.
Yeah, my family saying press charges. They saying press charges on him. Don't talk about it.
Oh,
Don't
have you
let it
not done it yet?
slide.
You haven't done it yet?
I just found out. I just found out the other day. Saturday.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're going to press charges?
Yeah, I'm calling the credit agency on Monday morning and found out how you set the steps for fraud.
Yeah, yeah. You got to do that because they're going to make you pay it if you don't.
And here was the thing, LJ. It was like this. Here my financial situation was that me growing up, yeah, my family didn't have a lot of money, and my mom was a barmaid, so she pretty much did everything on cash on hand. And I remember growing up, fifth grade graduation, she had to get money from the loan shark to get my suit, had to get money from the loan shark to take me out for graduation, all that stuff.
Wow.
Then in the long run is that she got chased out of Southwest Philly because she couldn't pay the debt.
Damn.
So that made me realize like I didn't want to be in debt for another thing. I'm like pay as you go. How they say in the Bible, pay as you go.
Well, you know what? Honestly, that's the only way you can do it, mathematically speaking, right? There is what you're doing right now is the correct way because in reality, mathematically, there is no other option. You know what I'm saying? You still there? Did I lose you? Q Savage. You on mute? Uh-oh. I don't know if I lost you, man. I might have lost you. Come back in if you get situated. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. But come back in, Q Savage, when you get that straight. John Doe says, I'm really wondering if I should cut this friend off. I showed him my credit karma, which is all zeros. Seems like ever since then, he made it a point to try to convince me that I'm no better. You have to, he can still be your friend, but the friendship has to be in a different dynamic. All right. That's how I am with one of my friends. We talk every now and then. We talk about surface shit, but we don't talk about finances. If he wants to tell me about what he bought or what he just purchased or whatever, I just listen. I don't say anything. You know, my friend, he just bought a boat. And when I say bought, I mean finance. And I don't say nothing. I just say, hey, nice boat. Do your thing, man. Wow, this looks fun or whatever. You just got to go along with it. Retire says, LJ, I wish people knew how good it feels to own your time. Yeah. I want everybody to feel that. I want everybody to feel it. John Doe says, once slaves realize you're free, I'm talking, they know it for certain. You become enemy number one. Why? You remind them of what is possible. Honestly, they begin to, that is exactly correct. What you got to do, John, is you got to stop pulling, you're an alien now, right? You got to stop pulling your mask down in front of them. If you choose to have them still in your lives, man, it's like, honestly, man, you gotta, once you understand how it all works, you're gonna have to slowly release them so you can make room for your new friends that think like you, that want more out of life, know there's freedom and blah blah blah. Because it's gonna be very hard for you to remain friends with your whom are slaves. Gabriel says, being in debt must have been a living hell, LJ. Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was part of life at that time. So it doesn't feel like a living hell because I'm driving a Lexus. I have a fancy apartment. I have nice furniture, nice bedroom set, clothes, et cetera, et cetera. So it's hell, but it doesn't feel like it because of the illusion that's around me. LJ, you're right. Talking to slaves is a waste. It's an absolute waste of time. Absolutely. When slaves come up and say, hey, man, look at my brand new car, and you know they're making payments on it, it's like you just got to say, hey, that is a nice car. Wow, cool. Yeah, the leather smells good. Or what are the options? Oh, wow. Yeah, those are cool rims. Whatever. You just got to, if you want those people to remain in your life, that's it. I went to that opt-out website so they could stop sending me credit cards in the mail. I don't want to. This is what you do, man, because all this is how I stopped it. Okay. Because I believe the opt-out shit, stuff like that, I think that's just places that gather your information to let them know that they are reaching the person. I mean, that's just my opinion, whatever, right? So what you do is stack up all those credit card offers, right? And then stuff them all in a one of those prepaid envelopes they give you, stuff it all in there and then make it real heavy and then send it back, and then they'll stop because they'll know exactly who that came from. All the because it'll be all the information to you in that envelope. So when you send it back heavy and they pay for that shipping back, they will know that this envelope came from you to say, stop sending me this shit. And believe me, when I did that, they all stopped. I think you're right about stepping away from the slaves. You have to. Yeah, you got it. What's up, Quentin? What's going on? It's crazy how some people believe that this up and coming president administration are going to put to into student loans. That's all. That's all. That's called bait. Slaves believe anything. Let me tell you something, slaves. That will never happen in this lifetime. Guaranteed. They will never release that many of their slaves. So stop hoping and dreaming that that's not going to happen. $1.7 trillion just vanish. That's not true. Financing credit is the invisible slave master. Sure is. Underground says sorry, doesn't cost a penny. John Doe says dealing with people who don't understand math is an unbelievable headache. That's why I don't. John says they forget about the student loan forgiveness stuff. Slaves always are looking for someone else to wipe out the slave. You got to remember something. Like, you guys got to understand this. Everything you see outside, everything the slaves see outside, those are distractions. All distractions from keeping from looking at themselves. Slaves don't understand that zero starts with themselves. Nothing outside of themselves, with themselves, only themselves. But if they can keep busy thinking that some kind of new something, cryptocurrency, real estate deal is gonna save them, that's important. They must believe that. Aaron says, happened to me. I ain't spoke to my older brother ever since. See what I'm saying? See what debt does? H says, can I ask a question as a foreigner? I heard USA uses credit status. The more and often you borrow money from the banks, the better offers provide, and you have to do it constantly. Is that true? That is true. So what that means is this: you must stay in debt to get this magical credit score. The banks have designed it, and this is nothing hidden. This is out in the open. Okay, this is not a secret. The banks are not hiding anything. They're not getting over on people. They just said, hey, if you stay in debt, we will give you this magical credit score. And then the slaves just believe it. It's just business. Credit here in the USA is business. That's it. But slaves take it personally. They believe the better credit score they have, they are somehow better than somebody else. The banks are brilliant. John Doe says, good advice. Oh, retired, talking to retired. I'm set apart says $300. Ain't that bad. I'd offer credit agency $100 to get it off the report and continue to. Yeah, that's what I would do. Well, I don't know. Yeah, just to save a record, but with his brother, it ain't gonna stop. Karma knows how to take care of people better than you. That's true. Screen learning. What's going on, man? Screen learning. Not all skin folk are kin. Skin folk are kin folk. Sometimes the perfect enemy is the one you grew up with and watched you eat. Yeah, that is true. Screen learning. Very true. John Doe says, like LJ always says, most people will not understand what we talk about here until they get north of zero. Technically, until then, they cannot hear. They cannot hear, yet you can see them. Exactly. We can see them. They're mathematically blind. Everybody wants Everybody that starts with you doesn't always finish with you. Got to learn how to leave people behind unapologetically, for sure. Oh, okay, Q Savage. All right, thought something happened. Underground says slaves are jealous. I will never tell people how much I am willing to pay for anything. Never. That jumped big time. Walter says my mother-in-law is always hitting me up for $500 for rent two months in a row now. You know why? Because it sounds like you continue to give it to them. If you say no, they'll stop reaching out to you. Shout out to Sal's HQ for the 1999 super chat. Thank you very much. I don't talk to most family members because I always notice the monkey see, monkey do society they are part of. Show off for the crowd and or possess things for acceptance or attention from the other sheep. Yeah, it's very this is, like I said, this is what I do when I'm around family members. I don't discuss finances. Most of them by now know what I do, so they don't really discuss finances around me. Luckily I'm fortunate for that because they know what I do and they just do not discuss because they know I will give them the truth. Donovan Wood says that is the truth. Many of my friends post their credit scores on social media all the time. You see that all the time. People post their credit scores on social media all the time. It doesn't even mean anything. It's my I love debt score. Slaves don't know that. Slaves don't know their credit score is nothing more than it's a I love debt score. Some of the people with the highest credit scores are in the deepest of debt. Deep, deep debt. Thank you. Thank you. I'm set apart says that's sheeple for you people keeping up with the Joneses. Thank you, Atticus. Appreciate you, man. I see you be following me on Instagram, man. I appreciate it. I I always can tell the people that understand. I don't lend money to family at all. Oftentimes they act like Ray Charles and be blind when it comes to repaying you. You know what this is the level I want you guys to get to. When family members or friends come to you and ask for money, you say no. Don't make it up. I'm not saying that you do it underground, but I'm saying a lot of us will make up an excuse. Oh man, I got these bills coming up, or I got to pay so and so, or I got to do something. They'll make up an excuse. You know what I say? No. I had one of my brothers reach out to me not too long ago. Hey man, I need some money, man, and send me a picture of this overdue bill and how much he's got. If he doesn't pay it within a couple days, it's gonna be shut off. You know what I said? No. And then he threw up another excuse. Hey man, but this and that, this and that. I said no. The answer is no. I don't lend money. But you know what I did say? I told him, I will teach you how to prevent that from ever happening again. No, you know what? Never mind. Click. Bye. That's how you get rid of them. They don't want to know they don't want to know the answer. They don't want to know how to fix it. They just want you to put a Band-Aid on it and give it, even if they're going to use 9 times out of 10, there's a reason why the bill was that late. You think if you gave them all the money in cash, you think they're going to take all the money to that bill? No, they're going to take some of it, call the company and say, hey man, how much will it take for you not to shut off my power or lights or whatever? And then they're going to give them that much, pocket the rest and spend it. LJ, but some family members will try to pull you in because they know you are debt free. That's their way to try to debate that they cannot comprehend. And again, if you guys just say no straight up, look them right in the eyes. Don't when you say no, don't look around, don't look down at the ground or up in the sky. You look them directly in the eyes and you say no. And when you say it, you got to make sure you say it in a way to where they feel it, because they can feel a half-ass no. And I promise you, they can feel a solid no. I'm set apart says they post. Oh yeah, okay. With all the the post credit scores, but don't show what's on the credit report with all the debt they have to that they pay on time. They don't show that. That's why I made that video of me logging into my Credit Karma live so people can see it. Guarantee you won't see a video like that anywhere on YouTube. Somebody logging to their Credit Karma live for everybody to see. Guarantee it. Walter says they hit you up because they know you have it. They don't know anything really. Knowing this information is depressing. Knowing not everyone is free. It's yeah, but that's a feeling too, Gabriel. Without them, we couldn't be free. Some people only reappear in your life to leech off you like a vampire, exploit you financially if you allow it. Honestly, you guys just get comfortable. You guys got to get comfortable with no. You won't have to come up with excuses. You won't. They'll stop trying to manipulate you with sad stories and all this other stuff. You just say no. Screen learning. No is a complete sentence. After you throw out that spade, if you explain yourself, then you lose the book. You sure do. You try to explain yourself. That's it. That's it. You put a story behind it. No, because this and that and blah blah. That's it. You got to say no. NC Big says someone dared ask you for money. In the beginning, NC Biggs, in the beginning. John's real talk screen learn. Yeah, it's clear that screen learning for surely knows. Believe that. You can just tell by the way people talk. Underground says the family gaslights you, and their rebuttal is, I gave you a roof over your head. I did this for you. I did that. I know, don't they? They do it all. You know what I say? I don't care what you're saying. The answer still no. Now, a lot of you, now, don't get me wrong, a lot of you are not at that level yet, but you keep on the path that you are. You will say that. As soon as they're done with the gaslighting and the sob story, you're going to say it just like that. I don't care what you're saying. It's not going to change anything. The answer still no. Oh, I put a roof over your head. You were supposed to put a roof over my head. I didn't ask to be here. That's what you say, especially if you got parents that say stupid shit like that. You turn to them when they say, hey man, I put a roof over your head and I did all this. You turn to them and say, you were supposed to. You think I chose to be here? You chose me to be here. So you have a responsibility to put a roof over my head. Cupcake says, and don't let them use their children as pawns, and it's Christmas now. I know, they do. They think, most family members think, if you got money and Christmas time come around, you got the money to buy people Christmas presents. They sure do. You know what you say? I'm not buying anybody anything. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to buy the kids something because they're children and they like Christmas or whatever, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But if you don't want to buy parents anything, because even parents be expecting Christmas gifts and shit like that, you say, no, I'm not buying you anything. You have the money. You say, yeah, I know that, but I'm not buying you anything. Shout out to Dark Man, 499 super chats. Yo, LJ, let me hold 50. Right. Let me hold 50 for 2 weeks. When if somebody asks me and say, hey man, can I get $50 until next payday? I say, when you can pay? 2 weeks. I say, if you show me how to make $50 last for 2 weeks, you can have $100. The problem of the system is banking system creating money, inflation, as drawing expectations on paper instead of actual value, right? No. Blaming, this is the best way I can explain this. I want to make sure people understand this. Blaming the banking system is part of the illusion of the banking system. If you are blaming the banking system, you are part of the program because the banking system's not doing anything to anybody. All you have to do is trust mathematics, and you will clearly see the banks are not doing anything to anybody. They're choosing it. People are choosing not to trust mathematics, and the banks do. That's it. Money, money doesn't even exist. Now, let me give this example for you guys that just come in the room, and you come in the chat room and you hear me saying money doesn't exist and all this other stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy. I have money right here in my pocket. I get it. I totally get it. All right. But I'm gonna prove it to you that money doesn't exist for slaves. Okay. Not for people that understand money. I'm talking about for slaves, for you. Okay. This is what I want you to do. Now, the answer to this mathematical equation is going to tell you if you live in the debt matrix or not. Okay? All right. I'm gonna go with a 20 because the majority of people probably have a 20 in their pocket. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm going with a 20. The amount on the bill really doesn't matter. Okay, but a 20 more of you have. Okay, I want you to go $20 minus your total student loan debt. So if you need to log into your Credit Karma and see how much you owe in student loan debt, or maybe you just know off the top of your head, okay? All right. Then I want you to go $20 minus your total student loan debt equals how much money you have in your hand. Equals if the 20 is there or is not. Now here's the part that's going to be very difficult for you to understand. But it's going to let you know if you live in the debt matrix or not. Okay. If you believe the 20 is still in your hand, even though it's not mathematically true, you live in the debt matrix. Because $20 minus your total student loan debt equals deep, deep negative. The $20 in your hand doesn't even exist. But if you still believe it's there, you live in the debt matrix. That's how you know if you live there. So if you believe it's there, money doesn't exist for you. You can replace that $20 bill with an ounce of gold. The ounce of gold minus your total student loan debt equals how much the value of gold is to you. That's going to be a deep, deep negative number. Gold doesn't even exist for you. Underground says you don't owe anyone an explanation. Nope. I'm set apart. Parents be trying to guilt trip you when they want help, saying they raised you. Not anymore. No, the answer is no. Because you got to remember this. If you got parents that do shit like that, you got to come back with them. You got to say this. Did I ask to be here? Did you ask me first? Oh, you couldn't have, because I didn't exist, right? Yeah, so you couldn't have asked me. You didn't even know I exist. And then you brought me here, and then you try to guilt trip me on something that you had to do in the first place because you brought me here. That's what you got to say, because if they're bold enough to say that to you, they got to be bold enough to hear the return. I would never say that to my children. Hey man, you owe me because I put a roof over your head. I would never say that to them. Aaron says, I say you decided to have kids and it happened to me. I say you decided to have kids and it happened to me. So don't act like I chose you and this. Right, exactly. Can I borrow 20? Right. Walt Gold says, hey, LJ, did you check out the article I sent you on how through a firm and price line? I never did. I didn't bother to look too deep into it. I remember that, but I don't doubt it. Walt says, can't you go take them on Judge Judy or Judge Mathis if that's under 5,000? Let me tell you something, Walter. Only slaves would ever get on such shows like Judge Judy and Judge Mathis. To be 100% embarrassed on TV and talked down to by a judge for TV ratings. over something under worth $5,000? Are you insane? I would never do that ever. That would never happen. Here you got on Judge Judy, you got these landlords that refuse to pay people back their deposits, even though they legitimately supposed to get them back. But they go on TV, say the name of their business on in front of 20 million, 25 million people that watch Judge Judy to say they're not giving back their customers' money for no legitimate reason. You think I would touch that business in a million years? Hell, I would not rent from them. That would never happen. Sunday night and Monday morning is the worst feeling for slaves. Yes, it is. Slaves they don't even get a full weekend. They only get a day and a half because they get all of Saturday and then half of Sunday because the other half of Sunday, what are they doing? Preparing for Monday. I remember this feeling I used to get, and I don't even follow sports, but I remember I used to get this feeling like I used to go over a friend's house and watch the Super Bowl. And I remember this feeling that used to overcome me after the Super Bowl game was over. It was like a damn, I gotta just to the end of a wonderful, fun event with friends ends with, damn, I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. It would just ruin the whole feeling because it would be over. You know how good it feels to do that now to go like I don't really do it, but go over to a friend's house, watch the Super Bowl, and know that I don't have to prepare for work the next day. I would go home and enjoy the feeling of having fun with my friends, not thinking about shit. Those TV court shows are modern day circus shows, always on the lookout for the newest clown. Sure is. That's exactly what they're for. People that understand money would never in a million years get on that show and fight over $500. I mean, get on okay, listen. Say like they're disputing 500 bucks. They're going to get on a plane, prepare themselves, pack their stuff, get on a plane, fly somewhere, fly to LA or wherever this show is at, stay there for a day or two to prepare to get on this show and all this other stuff. And because you can't find anywhere do the, just Judge Judy show pay the people to come on. You can't find it. But to me, it's obvious. Only broke people are not going to fly that far not to get paid some kind of money and to be embarrassed on TV. They're going to get paid. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe they just pay the judgments. Who knows? I don't know. This is just speculation, right? But they're not going to come that far without getting some money. Only slaves would embarrass themselves on shows like that over 500 bucks. LJ is a financial Harriet Tubman show. LJ is a financial Harriet Tubman showing the way. We are all very fortunate to have stumbled upon him. I appreciate that, John Doe. You can see it too. And when you say that, and when I say it, you understand that I'm not bragging. I'm just talking about the math that we learned in grade school. You guys know that. You guys know I'm not doing anything fancy. I just know how to articulate it. That's it. There's nothing more than that. LJ, I was driving back to North Carolina and Maryland this morning, and I was just smiling because I don't have to go to work. Right? It feels so good. It feels so good. Like I moved down to South Carolina in 2019. Instead of just doing the normal thing, hey, hire a truck, uh, put it all in the back of a big old truck, and then have some hauling company drive it down, and then put my truck on some kind of truck, and then they have them ship it down the whole expensive way. You know, what my girl did. We did. I sold all my shit and drove across the country. That was the best thing I could have ever done. The only reason I was able to do that because I don't have a job. I'm not in debt. I'm financially free. And financial freedom doesn't mean you have millions upon millions of dollars in the bank. No, all you have to do is get to zero. Zero means you're financially free, not millions of dollars. Zero. Do you know if you got to zero and had $1 in the bank, $1, you'd be financially ahead of millions of people with just $1 in the bank. Now remember, every time you hear me talk like this, I'm 100% mathematically correct. That means I'm never wrong, ever. Thank you, sir. You think SMD family members would follow me if I was flip flopping and bullshitting and switching up what I'm saying and scared to back up with anything I'm saying? They wouldn't follow me. I'm never wrong. Do you guys know how powerful the truth is? The truth is amazing. It's a fucking superpower. The truth cannot be disputed. Watching this channel while living in this pandemic changed my life. Thank you, Underground. It's totally different, isn't it? Yeah, you know the pandemic is happening, but it's not really as bad as most people think it is. It's not. But if you're a slave and you're in debt, oh yeah, it's horrible. You get out of debt, you're like, it affects you. Don't get me wrong, but not the same way it does slaves. The pandemic affects everybody. That is true. And when they say this, they're telling the truth. Hey, the pandemic affects everybody. Yes, that's true. But what they don't tell you, it affects everybody differently. Some good, some bad. The majority are bad. Just need to be consistent with my payments. After that, I can be a millionaire. Yes. And you have no choice. If you want to be a millionaire, you have no choice but to get out of debt. Now, if you're listening in the background, this I want you to understand something. You want to become a millionaire? First, you must learn how to count to a million. This is what I do. I teach you. I teach you how. You want to become a millionaire? I teach you how to count to a million. Now, I know you're probably looking puzzled in your brain and your face right now. What the fuck you mean, Lynette? Count to a million? I know how to count to a million. I want you to listen. I want you to log into your Credit Karma, click on accounts, and see that number? You see that large negative number? That's where you start counting to a million from. That's where you start. You can't get to a million. You can't get to a million if you don't know where to start. That's where you start. Now you're probably looking at that number like, oh my God, that's a large negative number. It sure is. What you gonna do about it? This is where I come in. I give you the blueprint on how to get out of that. Doesn't matter who you are. I know exactly what to do. I promise you. And before you leave, before we get off the phone or before you even do the plan, you're going to know the exact direction because I'm going to prove it with mathematics. You're not going to just walk away and say, oh man, I don't know if I can trust him or not. Maybe he's not telling me the truth. No, you're going to walk away and say, damn, this motherfucker actually showed me with mathematics how to do it. How come nobody else told me? Because they're all slaves. Do you know a slave could be a financial advisor? There's slaves who are financial advisors. They're slave accountants. They're slave lawyers. They're slave doctors. They're all slaves. I can teach you how to get the best accountant. I can tell you how to get the best IRS lawyer. You ask to see their personal credit reports. Now, I know it sounds like something uncomfortable to ask, right? But I promise you this, when you reach the right professional and you ask that question, they will know why you're asking that question. When you see that person and they hear you ask that question, I want you to look for this look in their face because I guarantee you this, there are not many people that maybe have never asked them that question. They're going to be shocked. They're going to be taken back. But then again, they're going to know why you're asking that question. You know why? Because your personal credit report is going to look like theirs. It's going to have a whole bunch of zeros on it. That's the lawyer that you want. That's the tax attorney that you want. That's the whoever, anything to do with finances, investor, whoever doing your portfolio, setting up your estate. They better be debt free. They must understand zero starts with them. I'm sorry, yet set a limitation for used letters per, what's that say? YouTube set a limitation for used letters per comment, so it looks weird. Oh, they do? I didn't know that. LJ, I sleep better these. Oh man, I was just talking about that with my girlfriend the other day. Retired. I love to sleep, and you know what I realized is that I can sleep. The gift to be able to sleep as well as I do for many hours as I do is a gift within itself. When I go to sleep, I have no worries, none, zero. I sleep well. I don't think about anything. I realized why, because I used to think, man, I sleep a lot, man, and people gonna think I'm lazy, and I don't really want to tell anybody how much I sleep. That's a gift. It's a gift to be able to go to sleep and not have anything on my mind. Nothing. John Doe says, I noticed something, LJ. You attract good energy, high vibration people to this channel. I think that goes beyond the debt talk. Many people here are regulars, not an accident. That's not an accident. Agreed. I 100% agree with that. It does attract good energy. It does. Here are people. This will be weird for most of slaves that you guys don't understand this. People that are SMD family members, you could hand them $10,000 in cash. Now we don't know each other. We don't know each other, okay? We don't physically meet. We don't know anything personally, but this is a language that you guys don't really understand. It's a language, right? We could hand a SMD family member, say, "Hey, I got $10,000 in cash. I need you to hold for me for a week," or I'm just making up an example, okay? Hold it for me. I will be back next week to get it from you. SMD family members will have that money the following week to give right back to them for two reasons. Money no longer controls us. That's number one. It doesn't control us, so it's just pieces of paper. Number two, we wouldn't ruin this type of relationship over green pieces of paper. You wouldn't ruin a relationship because that's exactly what it would do. People will always say you're lazy if you don't have a job. They do. But you got to understand this. Once you get out of debt and once you reach the level where I'm at, if it's a level, maybe it's a pieces of a puzzle. I'm not saying it, because once you get on this side, it's really not levels, it's pieces of puzzles. You get with somebody that's on the same level as you or energy as you learn from them, they learn from you, and then you both grow. That's it. That's how it works. There's no competition. Aaron says, I sleep at 4 a.m. every night and wake up in the afternoon every day the next day. And if you can do that, that's perfectly okay. Society will think, oh, you're lazy, you lazy bum, or whatever. But when you're debt free, you can do that. How many times have you've heard people say, hey man, I only get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, man. I got so much shit on my mind. See? They're telling you this. They're telling you something without even telling you. They're telling you that they can't sleep. And you can sleep 8 hours. Man, I can sleep 8 hours plus. Easy. Easy. But I love staying up. Me and my girl will stay up to 1, 2 in the morning, maybe 3 sometimes, and then go to sleep and wake up about. I mean, I don't sleep all day. I'm just not like that. But I'll sleep. I mean, I don't do that on a normal. My bedtime is usually around midnight. My body shuts down. Midnight hits. I start to get tired. Look down at my clock. It's about midnight. Wake up 8, 9, 7. It counts on what mood I'm in. When I come to this channel, I'm uplifted. Thank you, John. I appreciate you saying that, feeling that. You guys that know this, you guys that know me, other SMD family members that know me, you know where I'm going. You know I'm going to be on the Joe Rogan show. I'm going to be big as Dave Ramsey, if not bigger. We all know that the only reason why I'm not there is because people just don't know me yet. That's it. That's nothing more than that. That's it. I'm sorry. Are questions about cryptocurrency forbidden here? No, man. No, everything's open. I love, actually, I love talking about cryptocurrency. I love it. For some reason, my last question disappeared. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's cool, man. Ask about it. That's cool because it ties in with personal finance. It counts on the, let's see what the question is phrased, and I'll know for sure. I still can't get over how the bank 5 years convinced me that I could afford $100,000 house, making $15 an hour. Definitely was a lie. Well, okay, that's because I'm set apart. You're looking at it wrong. Okay. They knew that you couldn't afford that house. They already knew that. By you coming to even apply to get a house making $15 an hour, you don't know. Because if you trust in mathematics, you wouldn't have went to the bank and asked to get a loan for a house. You wouldn't have did that. But since you don't know, they're going to take advantage of you, and it's business. It's just business. It's not. They're going to get you the loan that you want. Most likely, it's a subprime mortgage, FHA loan, or some kind of VA loan, or whatever subprime. Because only a slave would accept a subprime mortgage. Only a slave would do that. I think it disappeared because crypto only exists for people who are debt free. Correct. Crypto, cryptocurrency. Put it this way, John Doe. Any currency in any form. It's not just cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency doesn't even exist. Neither does green pieces of paper. They don't exist for slaves. None of it exists. Okay. The value it holds is what they say it holds. So they just make up some number. Hey, this Bitcoin is worth 20,000, and then the slaves just believe it, and they just think it's 20,000. I guess whatever, right? But they don't even know none of it exists. So it's not just cryptocurrency. It's anything: gold, silver, platinum, stocks, bonds, insurance, life insurance policies. None of that shit exists. None of it. 401ks, all that stuff. None of it exists. Now, how can I tell a slave that? I can prove to a slave that their 401k doesn't exist. I can prove it to them mathematically. I can show them on a piece of paper and say, hey, is the math I'm showing you correct? They'll look at it and say, yes, it's correct, but that's what they'll say to you. Energy is the precedent for 5 years ago. Gabriel says, in the pandemic, I sleep more. I sleep really well. Your energy is the precedent for your future. Yes, it is. Is the precedent for, I got to look up the true definition of precedent. I think I'm misunderstanding the precedent, not president, precedent. NC Big says, why do you think you can't afford $100,000, make it $15 an hour? Why do you think you can't afford it? Well, it's, if you don't know that, plus if you got other debts on top of making $15 an hour, man, that's crazy. LJ could write a book, call it Terms for Being Debt-Free Living. I am going to write a book, but this is my thinking, okay? A lot of people tell me to write a book now, write a book, right? But in my mind, in my thinking, I will get to writing a book, but my goal is to get more and more people to trust me first, right? I want more and more people to know who I am. So by the time I write this book, they will be ready to buy it. They won't even have to read it. What's up, NC Biggs? What's going on, man?
What's going on? I had to say something because it didn't come off right when I wrote it in the text. So um um for I'm set apart. You can afford a house that if you make $15 an hour. Now you have to not own debt, and of course you have to also save up for a down payment if you're gonna do it that way. That's the only thing that I think even LJ agrees that you would say you should get if you want to get a loan for something. That would be the only thing you get a loan for. So I mean, I just don't think that $15 an hour is like unreasonable. It's unreasonable for a normal person because they probably have lots of debt. So that's what
Correct.
I was going to say.
And I agree from the perspective you're coming from, right? You could, but you have to be debt free. You know, you have to be.
Right. And you can't I mean, in all honesty, I don't think it really matters how much you make. You can make $500,000 a year and you might not be able to afford a $100,000 house.
Right.
Because you got all this debt. You know, I mean, it's not about the money. It's about how you manage your money that you have. You know, so yeah,
very true.
I just wanted to comment on that. I don't want people to think that like the bank set him up or something. And like you said, he kind of just walked in there and was like, hey, you know, I got all this debt on me. Can I afford this house? You know, and they were like, yeah, sure, you can afford this house. You know, and
like
that's what
I
they
hear
got
people say, "Oh, the bank tricked me. They deceived me." No, they didn't. They didn't do anything. They didn't do absolutely nothing. You came to them. They tricked you. This is what it sounds like. They tricked them, they tricked you, even though you came to them.
Right. I mean, it's like you went to the cops to go to jail. That's. I mean, nobody arrested you. I mean, I came for you. No one was looking for you, but you showed up and said, "Hey, man, I'm ready to go to jail now." You know,
yeah, ready to go to jail. I just broke into this car down the street and stole a radio and a laptop, and I'm here to turn myself in. I feel bad about
it. And they were like, "Well, let me escort you into this nice jail cell here." You know.
Yeah. Can you put the cuffs on me first for your safety? Yeah. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, there's International Mind again. He's back.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Andre? What's going on, man? Oh, you there?
Lagging again? He might be lagging again.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, what's up, NC Big?
What's up, man? LJ muted himself, so
no,
I think
saw somebody in the. No, I'm here.
Go ahead, Andre.
You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw someone was posting in the chat about Bitcoin.
Okay.
And I just wanted to review again the whole concept of a transaction and value.
I know exactly where you're going with this, LJ. Go ahead.
No, Andre's doing it.
Yeah, so when a something doesn't have value either before or after the transaction. Once you understand that, then every other transaction will make sense to you. You'll know how to deal with it.
That made so much sense to me too, LJ. I mean, Andre, when you said that the other day, by the way.
Let me see.
A lot of this stuff though is like in your face. Like, let me give you an example. Right? Okay, you've heard of adjusted gross income, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's AGI. There's also something called modified adjusted gross income, right?
I didn't know that. But go ahead.
Yes.
Right? So now you have MAGI, and everybody, well, most people, or maybe hopefully some people know what a magi is.
I don't.
Well, we're not.
I've heard of it, but I'm gonna need a refresher course.
Okay, anyone heard of the three kings to go see Jesus?
Yes.
Yes.
Magi, right? But we're not done there. Anyone know what a Schedule C is?
No.
Okay. Now we have MAGIC.
It's
Right?
getting longer.
Magic. But we're not done yet.
Oh. Oh my God! I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Okay.
Oh my God! Oh
That's
Damn
man!
you,
I keep
your
telling you,
spaceship. Damn
they're doing
you.
it in your face and you can't see it.
Wow.
Modified adjusted gross income with a Schedule C. But you know, sometimes they spell magic with a CK, right?
Yeah.
MAGICK, magic.
Yeah.
Well, that K is the K1 partner
Oh.
income.
K1 what?
K1 is the income that you have to report in a partnership.
Magic.
In your face.
In your face.
Directly, and you cannot see it.
See, that's the kind of stuff. See, that's why I talk to you, man. You make things come into focus, and it upsets me at first. It bothers me.
You know,
I'm a smart dude.
I remember telling this guy a PhD in economics, and by the time I was done with him, he was in tears. I'm not joking, literally in tears.
I believe it.
Why you doing that to people? You over here breaking people into tears and crying. You know, I feel bad for it. I feel bad for anybody that thought they knew a whole lot, and then they had a conversation with you, and they were living in a date matrix, but they were
What was
like
the acronym you said your wife gave you? What was the acronym you said your wife gave you, Andre?
PCA, patronizing, condescending asshole, something like that.
PCA. And you know what's so crazy? And it's not really. It just sounds like it when you don't understand it. That's the funny part.
Right, exactly. It's
You're
like,
just oh, because I'm telling the truth? Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's just like, for example, everybody knows the Wizard of Oz, right?
Of course.
Right. What about Fantasia?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all there in your face. You just don't see it.
Yeah, that is true. The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, because it's like
they lay
the
down in the poppy fields. Here's another one. Afghanistan. It's supposed to be about Bin Laden and all the rest of that. Nope. Tell me what is the #1 export of Afghanistan?
Oil. Is it oil?
Heroin.
Ah, I did not know that.
Make a little more sense now. What do you same with Vietnam War? You think the Vietnam War was about, Russians and whatnot?
No, that was definitely about drugs.
Drugs. It's like
that was definitely about drugs.
KRS once said illegal business controls America, ganja business controls America. That is for real. Let's take, for example, Colombia, right? Little city, most people don't know about Cartagena. Read about that history. Here's another one. They're trying to promote who's going to be the next trillionaire, right?
Right.
What they don't know is already been a trillionaire. Mansa Musa of Timbuktu
is a trillionaire.
The first trillionaire on the planet. We'll never hear that in the news, though.
Why not? Why is that? Why wouldn't we hear that?
Well, it's not conducive to the narrative, basically. But you got to look it up. Just look it up.
Okay. Okay.
Let's talk about you, LJ. You know, you were talking about using the word slave.
Yeah.
Well, the other day I put into the chat. I think it was Nick that was kind of laughing at it. And he was laughing because he didn't understand it.
Okay.
It's Proverbs 22:7, right?
Yes.
All right, pull out your calculator and divide 22 by 7.
Divide 22 by 7. That's 3 times.
No, give me the decimal point.
0.1, right? 22, because 3 times 7 is 21, right?
Yeah, just got to do it. Pull out a calculator. Somebody pull out a calculator.
No, it's 70.
22 divided by 7. It's 7.3.
7.3.
No, 3.142.
There you go.
Oh,
Now, what
you
is
said 20.
pi?
You said about it. Gotcha.
That's pi.
What is pi?
Okay, start that over again. Why did we divide 7? Oh, the proverb.
It's Proverbs 22:7,
Right? And then
right?
you divide that into pi. And what is pi?
Divide 22 by 7. What do you get?
3.142.
Okay, what is the number for pi?
That's it is 3.1.
Okay, you get in there. Now, what is a cipher? You talk about cipher in Matrix, right?
All right, man.
Eating that steak?
Slow down. You're trying to explode my brain. Just a second. Pi is
Cipher is derived from the Arabic word sifir, S-I-F-R,
okay.
which stands for zero or an empty vessel. Make a little bit more sense now, the whole story?
How do you even know to go that deep? How do you even know that? Flying on your spaceship, right? You fly off, you go somewhere, and you come back with this information. What is it? Pi?
Right, like I said, right in your face, and you can't see it.
How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Oh, you have no idea. Let's talk about math. You're talking about is your math right?
Yeah.
All right, so when you go to school, you learn to count, but you learn to count wrong.
What does that mean?
The decimal system, right? The decimal system that we use, right? They start teaching you to count from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until you get to 10, right?
They make you skip 0.
Correct. The decimal system does not. It goes from 0 to 9.
They never start at 0.
They never start at 0.
Like
so
it doesn't exist. Like it doesn't
exist. You're screwed.
They act as if 0 doesn't exist when it does exist.
Right. 0 is the empty set. When you get to 10, it's one full set of 9 plus 1. That is the correct way to count in decimals. So why teach them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Why teach them that? Why not teach them that the number system is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? That is the end of a set. And now let's create a new one. 1, 0. Now I'm sure when you were learning in about computers, you had to learn
binary.
What is binary? What are the numbers that create binary?
0, 1, 2, 4, 8.
0, 1.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64.
No, there's no 2. There's no. The next number.
No, I mean, no, go ahead. 0. It's double, right? 0, 1.
0, then 1, right?
Yeah.
That the next digit is what? In binary.
It's double 1.
No, it's 1, 0. Not 10.
Oh, you're counting up. Oh,
you're counting in binary.
Okay.
0,
all right.
1, right?
You're saying how to state a number in binary. That's what you're saying.
That's right, because the number 3 is 1, 0.
Right.
The number 4 is 1, 1. So why in kindergarten, we won't even go into the name of kindergarten, what that means. Why do they teach them starting with 1?
No, why?
Because you can't get your math right.
You sure won't.
You'll never have your math right if your counting starts with 1.
That is true. That is fucking true.
Something as simple as doing basic math, kindergarten math.
And when they first taught me, when I went to computer school, I remember when they first start teaching me how to count in binary, I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, 2 is 0, 1, 0. I got to look at the chart. It's been a long time since I did it, but 0, 1, 0 equals 2 or 0. You know what I'm saying? that equals 5 or equals 6 or 7, whatever the number adds up to in binary. I thought that was the weirdest thing. But then after a while, it was just another program in my brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. That pi thing is really throwing me for a right in your face.
Oh, the pi. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In your face, directly. Like they, well, it is what it is. You know, you see it or you don't.
Right.
Well, why is it now in 2020 they just happen to decipher the Zodiac killer's message? Just happened this year. That 340 cipher.
I didn't even.
And guess what? Someone look it up, or you can look it up, LJ. Look at what he says in the cipher. Look at how many times the word slave comes up.
Where? What are you talking about? Remind me, what are you talking about?
The 340 cipher that was just deciphered from Australia, of the Zodiac killer's ciphers that he sent to the, I don't know if it's the newspapers or the police or whatever. They just deciphered it conveniently.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm Googling it now. Okay, I gotta read that. Now, what did you get from that? Give me an overview.
Okay, when you see what he wrote,
right,
you have to look at it. You have to actually do the math on it.
Okay.
But look at how many times. Remember, we're talking about, again, we're revealing things now, right? Because I just revealed 22 divided by 7 is pi. Pi is equal to the circumference of a circle, which makes a 0. Right?
Yes.
And you say all the time, and you see that this is what I'm showing is you're saying it and you don't even know what you're saying. The cipher in the matrix is a 0, is an empty vessel.
Cipher. The meaning of the name. I didn't even pay attention to that because it's not even spelt that way. It's not even spelt the proper way of cipher.
Yeah,
I think
I think
they go a CY in that the movie version of his name, I think.
Yeah, and here's another thing with the words. C, the letter C, right?
C as in cat?
That up. C, the letter in cipher, right? The word cipher, right?
Okay, yeah.
First letter is C.
Yeah.
As in SEE. As in vision, as in be able to see, as in 2020 vision. Y, the letter Y, as in WHY. Why is something happening? It gets, I'm telling you, man, it gets there, but it's in your face.
It is in your face.
Disgusting.
And you know what's, and when I say in my face, you know what it is? It's always been there, but it's just been out of focus.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, no, it's more than just being out of focus. It's encoded. That's why I made the whole point about the Zodiac killer and the 340 cipher.
I got to read
it. Encoded. It's like Freemason type stuff.
But if you trust mathematics, it decodes it.
That's correct. But how can you do math properly if you start with 1?
You can't.
It's impossible. You can't see the meaning of cipher if you don't know a cipher is a 0. If you don't know the meaning of cipher, where cipher comes from.
I bet you if you ask anybody, hey man, you know that dude Cipher in the movie? Yeah. What does his name mean? Nobody will be able to answer that. Nobody will be able to answer that question.
No. And you know, the funny part about that is that all you got to do is Google it. Especially now, there's no reason at all not to know.
And not many people are Googling that. Believe that. Not many are Googling that. Because you got to know something to Google that. I mean, you got to know something, right? Like what you just told me about Cipher and all, I didn't know to Google that.
I'm on the mic thing.
Why are you walking away?
Babe, I have an open mic. I'm on the live.
That's funny. You good?
See what I got to deal with?
She's like, why are you walking away? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that so that people understand that what they're up against.
Yeah, they ain't gonna. A lot of people ain't gonna understand that. You know what they're gonna call you? Oh, look at this conspiracy theorist dude. He's just he's nuts.
Well, once you understand math, you understand the concept of a mathematical proof. So, for
Right.
example, the pyramids, right?
I'm all ears about that. What about them?
Mathematical proof. You do your research. I can't get this will be like a 10-hour conversation about that.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna look that up and write it down.
So the ziggurats, the Mayan temples, the Stonehenge, all of those things are mathematical proofs. It's all math. All comes down to math eventually.
Okay. Yeah, you're giving me some homework. I'm definitely going to look that up. You have given me some homework. You know, me and math. Oh yeah, I want to know what you're talking about because it's going to become into focus once I understand the math to it, or the problem, or whatever the solution.
Yeah.
Because I would have never in a million years thought to look up Cipher, the name. I would have never in a million years, never.
Well, I mean, how many times have you said on the live Proverbs 22:7?
Many times.
Never did the math on it, though, did you?
I didn't know to divide it. Hey, I'm gonna divide 7 into 22. You know.
So that's what I'm saying. It's hidden, you know. They like I said, they get cheeky about it. For example, in the most recent what's it, a SpongeBob movie?
Okay.
In the SpongeBob movie, you'll notice there's a part where Patrick and SpongeBob are in front of like I don't know if it's a baccarat table or something like that, and Patrick says, "Oh, look, the letter L." And SpongeBob corrects him and says, "No, Patrick, that's not an L. It's a 7." Now, if you want to go further into that, then you have to watch. Oh my God, what's the name of this movie? Limoncello. That you want to talk about for real? You want to talk about something about as deep as The Matrix?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this movie, that Limoncello movie.
Spell that.
That's like a real. I think it's Limoncello, or maybe LEM.
Limoncello.
Yeah,
oh,
Limoncello.
No, that popped up a drink. You're talking about a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a kids movie. This is what I'm saying. They're in your face. It's a children's movie, highly rated.
This came up as I saw alcohol popped up.
No. Look for the movie.
Oh, Escape from Mr. Limoncello's library.
Yep. Watch that, and or whoever else in the chat wants to watch it, and let's see if you guys can decipher it. Huh?
It's a kid movie.
Oh, it's a kid movie, and it's very serious, but not one in a million can decipher it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. That's on Netflix too. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
So let me know what you get out of that one.
All right,
and that is actually related to the SpongeBob movie and the L and the 7.
Okay, because when I hear somebody say, "Oh, that's not an L, that's a 7," I would turn to him and say, "What do you think? That's an upside down 7 or something? What are you saying?"
Yeah, it's not only that; it's the whole setting of that scene in the movie.
Okay,
you have to pay attention, but it's you have to think of it from the point of view of decoding. That 7 shows up somewhere else. Look at the Christine Lagarde, who's currently the head of the EU bank. I forget what it's called. Before that, she was the head of the IMF, and she had to give a speech. So look up Christine Lagarde speech, and then see if you see the number 7 in her speech.
Christine Lagarde.
Christine Lagarde.
Christine.
Lagarde.
Yes.
And I believe it's an IMF speech.
Christine.
And then just look for the number 7.
Okay.
And then get back to me.
Lagarde. 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 Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, once you finish watching that kids movie, watching the new SpongeBob movie, and listening to her speech, and look very carefully at everything she says in the speech, then you'll see what I mean about in your face.
Speech.
Disgusting.
And I'm assuming this speech is probably I mean, is she gonna have several speeches? Which speech are you referring to?
I don't remember the year now.
Okay.
But you have to look at it. But it's one where she says, when I get up here, they tell me what to say.
Oh,
that's in the speech or just before the speech.
Okay. When I get up here, they tell me what to, wow. And she's not even joking.
She's not even joking. You know what that is? That's indemnification. She's trying to protect her name.
Tell me what to say. See if I can catch the right by saying that in there. And pops up as the 8th ECB keynote speech, Christine. I'll check them out, especially if she says that in the opening statement. That'll tell me right away if that's the correct video.
Yeah, and you'll see the number 7 pull up, pop up there as well. And it's even weird the way she says it. That's why I think she says ahead. They're just telling me what to say, because what she's saying, it sounds nonsensical, unless you can do math.
Okay, and so watching the movie on Netflix is going to tell me when you say what 7 represents.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
No, it's not just the 7. It's the L and the 7. They're actually giving you instructions, decoding instructions.
L and the 7. Okay. All right. No, I appreciate the homework. I'm definitely gonna check it.
It's a lot of homework, but you can't just watch it. You have to watch it from the point of view of decoding it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man. I'm gonna jump off unless anyone has questions.
All right, man. No, I appreciate it, man. As always, man. Thank you for the homework.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, later. Ooh, that's some deep stuff. That's some deep stuff, man. Deep stuff. Let me get back to H. Bitcoin. I wanted to ask Bitcoin, the value people gives is because they're not. It just doesn't exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. Tight T says being a published author gives you more accountability and respect, plus cash flow. You will be scrutinized, but the math is correct. Yeah, I don't really care about the scrutiny. That's gonna. John said the value of Bitcoin is what people perceive it to be, like any other asset. The fundamental proposition, if you will, is the blockchain and it's just okay. Put it this way. I believe cryptocurrency is created by the banks. Okay. It's not like when people say, oh, the banks hate it, the banks can't decode it and blah, blah, blah. I think they created it. Okay. Because the majority of people, all you got to do is this. Anybody that suggests Bitcoin to you, I strongly suggest you to ask to see their personal credit report first. It will tell you why they believe in cryptocurrency. Okay. Good or bad, because I'm not saying cryptocurrency is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying cryptocurrency can be very good, and it's very different. How you involve yourself in cryptocurrency is if you're in debt or not. That will tell you how you're going to be involved in cryptocurrency, right? If you're in debt, no currency at all exists, let alone cryptocurrency. But if you're not in debt and you dab around in cryptocurrency, you will understand that the majority of people that are involved in cryptocurrency are in debt. They're looking for a quick fix. They think that's going to solve all their problems. So they think, you got to remember, they have no money. Those who are in debt have no money. It doesn't exist. So whatever they're saying about cryptocurrency is irrelevant. It doesn't exist. So if you're not in debt, you will know exactly how to use cryptocurrency, how to make money from it. Also, unlike fiat currency, it is deflationary and has short supply, but none of that matters until you're debt free. Right now, it is speculative at best for 98% of people. It doesn't exist. Once you're debt free, you understand. Shout out to Simple Logic for the $5 super chat. Any thoughts on investing in FNGU and I don't know what those are. You got to tell me what that is. And if it's investing outside of personal finances, I don't do that. I only talk about personal finances here. What's up, Autumn Trees? Yes, he did, Cupcakes. You better believe it. 314. You think I would have saw that in a million years? Nope. He's exactly right. Nobody starts with zero. Nobody. Most people in debt have no idea. They just skip right over zero like it doesn't exist. You can't turn to a slave and say, hey, man, why are you skipping zero? You see it there, right? You see it? Yeah, it's right there, right? Why are you skipping it? Infinity. Cupcake says, never learned this in church. Me neither. I want you guys to understand something. That's next level shit. How do you think I even connected with a person like Andre? Because first, I must be able to speak the basic language, meaning I had to be debt free to even come close to understanding, or it'd be a waste of his time to even talk to me. Cipher reigns supreme, then you bring it back full circle. ALA equals cipher. Yep, hidden in plain sight, for sure. Money is a lie, nothing is important, divide the universe by zero. You know, I wouldn't say money is a lie. I would say it's just a tool. Okay. It's whatever's printed on it, because again, just like International Minded was saying, slaves will believe whatever's printed on that green piece of paper. They'll believe it. If they see a 100, it translates into their brain as $100. If they see a 50, it translates into their mind as $50. But if you just go to the government website where they show you the true cost of making $100 bill, which is 16.9 cents, you could show that to a slave and say, hey, you know that $100 you got in your pocket? Yeah, it costs 16.9 cents to make. They still won't believe you. Basic statistics should have taught you lots to focus on. Zero minus. It's even with making the connection of counting in binary, because I remember when I first went to class, engineering class, and they said, we're going to teach you how to count with ones and zeros. That's how they teach you how to count. So what I was doing so when Andre was first asking me that question, this is why I'm gonna help you understand. Okay, here's the table so you can understand how to count in binary. Okay, first the table is laid out like this: 0, and all numbers double. 0, 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. It goes higher, but I'm gonna just okay. So if I wanted to count to 4 in binary with this table, right, with ones and zeros, to count to 4 would be 0, 1. Well, I'm doing this in my head. No, it would be, wait. To count to 4 would be, I'm thinking back, 0, 0, 1, 2, 4. So 0, to count to 4 would be 0, 0, 1. That's how you would count to 4 in binary. 0, 0, 0, 1. 0, 0, 0, 1, because the binary table goes 0, 1, 2, 4. So 0, 0, 0, 1 would be 4 in binary. Tide understands it. I know you guys love it when International Minded comes on here, man. It takes you to the next level. You guys don't really understand how much I appreciate its knowledge and sharing things with me that just, man, I'd be thinking I'm at another level, and then he throws something in the mix. I'm like, God damn, this rabbit hole is deeper. It's almost to the point to where, even though you guys gotta understand how strong the matrix is, even though I know he's telling me the truth, something in the mind still says, oh man, that's just too far out. There's no way pi equals a circle, circle equals 0. You just think that's extreme, man. Come on. And me thinking that is part of the program to think it's unbelievable, even though the math is saying it to be true. I remember learning binary numbers in college because they didn't teach me this in elementary or high school. Exactly. I learned binary in college. They don't teach you that in school. Yes, he is an alien for sure. L is a letter for sure. Numerology, I can see it. Yep. Imagine this guy have his notebook the size of the devil's book. Yeah, I'm watching that. I'm watching that movie. You better believe that. I'm not really into kid movies, but I'm gonna watch that movie. Believe that. What's up, Ill Wills? What's going on? Yep, north is 0. Thank you, Andre. Okay, base of 2. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm gonna go with it. There you go. Okay, thank you, Ill Wills. Appreciate it. So now, with that up there, I'm gonna teach you how to count to 6 in binary. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, I'm gonna just do with the numbers that will add up to 6. Number one's turn on because it's 2 plus 4 equals 6. So 0 means leave 0 off. 0 again means leave the 1 off. 1 means turn 2 on. 1 means turn 4 on. 0 means leave 8 off, and 0 after all that thing after that. So those 2 equal 6. Okay, I don't mean to nerd you guys out, but that's what it is. I just took the U.S. debt clock. I just look at the U.S. debt clock to keep me motivated. Yeah, just look at it. It don't mean anything. When I go to the U.S. debt clock, I say, who controls this? That's my first thought. Who controls these running numbers on this screen, on this computer screen, to make me believe that the debt is really moving that fast? Who controls that? The movie. Let me see. I took a snapshot of it. Just a second. The movie is called Escape from Lemoncello's Library. Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's, lemon regular spelling like lemon, CELLO' library. Okay. I love this nerd stuff. Believe that. I hope you got that, Nick. Let's do subnetting, LJ. Hey, I ain't doing subnetting. I used to be able to do that in my head, and then I got apps, and then I was like, I'm not doing that in my head anymore. I'm gonna use the apps. Oh, appreciate it, Nick. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's on well, the picture I found, it says it's on Netflix, so I'm definitely gonna watch it on Netflix. All right, you guys, it's time to wrap this up. Appreciate the participation today. Thank you, Andre, again for jumping on here. International Minded, NC Biggs, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate it. You know, I totally forgot about Q&A Sundays. I'm gonna keep it going. It wasn't ended. I was just I got other things going on too at the same time. But oh, I know, man. Look at this. Right in your face. I'm a smart dude too, man. Smart dude. Slaves have no idea 0 starts with them. They don't even know 0 is a number. They don't even know 0 is part of math. They don't even know. It's crazy. Well, I want you guys to have a wonderful Sunday evening. Get on out of here. Thank you guys for participating today. Appreciate it. Until next time. All right. And for you members only, and I'll put the link in the description of this video, but for the members only, if you guys don't know, I put up a new video in there today with me and a friend of mine. I hope you guys get a chance to watch it. Go check it out. It's in the playlist of the Life North of Zero videos. So go check that out. And a friend of mine that I've known for almost 30 years, we did a one-on-one today in the members only area. So go check that out when you get a moment. Learn some more stuff about myself and other people that know me before I became the person that's in front of you today. Okay. So I make sure I'm always transparent with you guys. So when I blow up beyond belief and you hear somebody, because the bigger you get, you know, people love to dig up stuff and say, oh man, I heard you did this and that. And when you guys hear it happening, because it's going to happen. All right. When you guys hear it happening, I want you to say to yourself, LJ told us that shit years ago. That ain't even nothing new. That's nothing new. Okay. All right. So you guys have a good one. Thank you everybody for joining. See you later.